What's up, everybody? Brian and Bean here to introduce you, first of all, to the Extra Digit Movement. Welcome to the family. We got a few basic steps that I want you to understand and internalize. And if you duplicate this process, I promise you, you cannot go wrong. I'm not promising you that this business is going to be easy. What I'm telling you is that the business is very simple. Why is it simple? Because you're going to do basic things over and over and over again. Why is it not easy? Because you got your emotions involved. You're going to want it more for your people than they actually want it for themselves. So I want you to make the distinction right now between this business being easy. It's not, but it's very, very simple once you control your thoughts and emotions. The first thing I want you to do is understand a clear distinction. We have what's called pre-production and we have what's called post-production. What's pre-production? Pre-production is what got you in the business. The pre-production steps are the things necessary to get a person excited, to get a prospect to see the video, to get a prospect to join the business, to get a prospect to plug in. The post-production steps are the things that you do now that you're actually in the business. What is the best way to duplicate, rinse, and repeat the process? So it's two sides of the business if you're taking notes. Pre-production on the left, that's what it takes to actually get a prospect to see the opportunity. Post-production is what it takes to actually duplicate that process. Here's something I want to steer people away from. This is very important. I want you to always ask yourself, what got me in the business? You ever thought about that? What got me in the business? I can almost guarantee you that the person who introduced you to the business did three things. One, they showed you a 7-minute video and it probably had a question attached to it. They asked you a question. They sent you a 7-minute video, and that video not only piqued your interest, but it presented the opportunity to you. They showed you a video of some type. Two, they tied you into a text thread and introduced you to someone else who would handle your questions and have a Q&A session with you, and then you actually signed up at that point. I can almost guarantee you that a 7-minute video, a text thread to introduce the three of us together, and a Q&A session is what happened in order to get you involved. Now, here's my question. Why would you do anything other than what got you enrolled? Brian, what do you mean? Well, you want to come in, possibly, and create flyers and pass them all around to every apartment complex you know and turn renters into homeowners. Is that what got you in the business? You want to talk to every prospect you know and not plug them into somebody else, although you were plugged into somebody else. You want to buy radio ads and TV ads and run Facebook ads and run Instagram ads and spend money that you haven't made yet. Let me ask you a question. Is that what got you in the business? What is my point? It amazes me how many people join the business a certain way and don't do the effective approach that got you to join the business. So I'm going to show you, now that you're in the business, strategically, what happened to you that actually got you to say, I like this and I'm in. Here's what happened. I want you to visit this website, extradigitmovement.com. The homepage of the website is for prospects. The member page of the website is for reps or QFDs. In other words, what am I saying? The homepage, extradigitmovement.com, that's where prospects see the presentation. That's where prospects will see what's called more information. They've already been exposed to a 7-minute video. They've already been introduced to a frequently asked question or what we call a Q&A session. They've already been into a text thread so we can support that prospect and that QFD so that prospect can see the business the right way. The homepage of Extra Digit Movement is designed for a person who needs more information only after those steps have been taken. Once you click members, that's the post-production side of the business. This is for people like yourself watching who've actually joined the business. The first thing you're going to do before you actually get started in the business, we want you to go ahead and schedule 2 of your 4 profit parties and Zooms. Schedule 2 of your 4 profit parties and Zooms. Now, Brian, what's a profit party or a Zoom? A profit party is simply a fancy word that we use for an in-home intimate meeting. Brian, I don't like my house. Brian, I don't like my furniture. Brian, people not. Calm down. We didn't say invite the whole community. A profit party is simply for people who've already been to your house anyway. So there's no judgment. These are people who are already in your family. These are people that are already neighbors. These are people who are already colleagues, friends of friends, significant others, What the profit party does is it launches your business and lets the world know that you're in business. Every business has a profit party of some type. Every business. Here in Atlanta, we have a chain called Chick-fil-A. In several different cities, you have a Chick-fil-A. What do they do when they launch? They put the cow out in the middle of the street with a cow uniform on that says, eat more chicken. That's their profit party or their launch. Chick-fil-A had a cow mascot walking all up and down the street saying, eat more chicken. Chicken is this way. That's their profit party. What does a car lot do? Y'all seen that crazy thing? Blowing all in the wind, looking crazy, got wind blowing all up in the air. That's his profit party. They're letting you know this car lot is now open. Come on over this way. This car lot is open. That's their profit party. Every successful business launches their business. What does Walmart do? Huge light, Target, huge laser, 3 or 4 lasers in the air spinning around. When a development opens, they letting you know, hey, we got a new development over here. That's their profit party. How in the world are you in business and you haven't launched it? That's just my question. So what we do is we want you to have at least one activity for your first 4 weeks, 2 Zooms and 2 profit parties. Why? Because that's when you're the most excited. Nobody's gotten into your ear yet. Nobody claimed it was some crazy pyramid yet. Your drunk uncle who never made a dime in the business is not telling you yet that you can't make it. You just signed. So guess what? You're the most excited when you join the business. You have to have 4 events scheduled because what that does, the first one, you're going to mess up because you're brand new, you're nervous. You're not going to introduce it the right way. That's fine. We're going to make that up with a second attempt. You're going to get better on your 3rd attempt. And by your 4th attempt, everybody you know at least knows that you're in business. Don't be what we call a secret agent. Right? What's a secret agent? A person that's in the business and nobody knows it. Launch your business. So notice step 1 is to schedule, before you do anything, schedule 2 Zooms and schedule 2 profit parties. Put them on a calendar. Match them up with your upline. When I sponsor a brand new QFD, I'm not really even going to ask. I'm going to say, listen, these are the 2 dates I have open. You want to do yours Monday or you want to do yours Tuesday? You'd be surprised. If you ask a new QFD, when do you want to have your profit party? Yeah, let me see. This is March. Can we launch it April 17th? April 17th. You're going to be out of business by April 17th. I promise you. So step 1, before you even get started, is to schedule 2 profit parties and 2 Zooms. Profit parties are in-home meetings. Zooms, of course, catch everybody out of town in between. The next thing you want to do, you want to copy and paste the text threads to your cell phone notepad and practice with your sponsor. Copy and paste the text threads to your cell phone notepad and practice with your sponsor. Brian, what do you mean? All right, I'm going to scroll down and show you guys what are called text threads that we copy and paste. The name of the game in this business is who can duplicate the fastest, who can work the smartest, put in the least amount of physical effort, but get the most results. The reason I do successful in this, I'm so successful in this business and I do well, is because I'm extremely organized and I streamline everything. I can deal with hundreds of people per day. You know why? Because all I'm doing is copy, paste, send. Weed you out. Write this down. I would rather weed you out than weave you in. I would rather weed you out of my pipeline than continue to weave you in. I have no problem. And our system is designed to highlight the prospect that you need to stop wasting your time with. The questions in the text thread are asked and written a certain way so that every time you ask a question, the prospect has to make a decision as to whether or not they want to go to the next step. Now, a lot of you guys that are brand new, you're not going to appreciate that because you're not dealing with hundreds of people yet. Here's a quote for you guys. What can't be done 1,000 times cannot be done once. See, I can copy, paste, and send 1,000 times. Copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send. I already got the notes in my cell phone. So all I'm doing is picking up my cell phone, going to the right question, and I send it to the prospect. I go again to the answer. When they reply, I go to the next section and I send it to my prospect. So the first thing we want you guys to do before you even get started, is go down to the text threads, see, and copy them. You're going to do this on your cell phone. So you're going to copy, highlight, paste it to your cell phone. Copy, highlight, paste it to your cell phone. These are the 4 that you as a QFD need. Copy, highlight, paste that to your cell phone. Copy and highlight and paste this one to your cell phone. Let's look at the psychology real quick. The initial text message is the 7-minute video. You're going to ask them one of these 3 questions. Just choose one. Hey, how soon can you watch this 7-minute video so we can discuss the daily pay? Which one of these 3 cash flow streams do you think we should tackle first? I need your help. Do you mind looking at these passive cash flow streams with me to give me your opinion? And you're literally going to copy and paste this link with one of these questions. I'll explain why in a second. Just copy and paste this whole thing. Remember, only paste after you've exchanged pleasantries and said hello to the person. Don't just hit them out the blue, right? Ask them how they doing, how you been, what's up, and then copy and paste one of these questions, any one, and link that question to this video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is step 1 that you need to master and not worry about the emotional reaction that comes when your prospect doesn't reply within 5 minutes, when your prospect doesn't call you back yet, when your prospect looks at the video but didn't tell you, when your prospect looks at the video but's not interested. Remember, you're weeding people out more than you're weaving them in. Write this down in your notes. You're sending the text message to give you a reason to call. In other words, the reason I'm sending this video is so that I can call you and say, hey, real quick, I know you're at work. Did you get that 7-minute video I just sent you? Okay, good. When you watch it, when you get home, call me back. I got somebody you need to meet. Bye. See, you sent it in order to make the call. The text is not going to work the business for you. The text got rid of your nervous jitters and anxiety so that you could fire it off to a few friends, not in a group, individually, and get a response or call them and ask for a response. That's the purpose. In fact, if you go here, after you copy and paste your messages, you can go up here and watch this video, 10 reasons we use text threads. Very simple. 10 reasons we want to use text threads. 1, text threads are organized pipelines. No more pipe dreams. I want y'all to hear me and hear me good. The old school way used to be make a list. This is in the 90s when I was coming up. See, so now you have a video that tells you 10 reasons you want to use text threads. So before you even get started, we're setting you up for success. Now, once you sponsor a person, this is very important, you are now somebody's upline. So you have to come down here, and these are the text threads you want to copy. If I were you, I would go ahead and copy all 8 text threads, but then you'll know when to use them. How will I know, Brian? Because you're going to practice with your sponsor first. If you're somebody's upline, that means you've introduced somebody to the business. They're going to bring prospects to you using their text threads at the top. You're then going to reply using those text threads at the bottom. So in other words, it's not going to make any sense unless you practice with your sponsor to see how they actually work. Make sure you guys take some time to watch the 10 reasons we use text messages. It's not going to build the business for you. What it's going to do is help you get rid of your anxiety, your nervous jitters. It's going to keep you from saying a whole lot, and it's going to introduce your prospect to us so that you can get out the way. New people, write this down, QFDs. Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Your job is to get the person to watch the video and every now and then nudge the text thread and ask them, have they watched the video? Call them. Have you watched the video? Give you a quick note before I move on. Always use if-then statements. If you do this, then this will happen. If you do this, then this will happen. That's called an if-then statement. A person will move to action if they know the benefits coming after the action they take. Hey, quick question, John. I know you're home. Did you watch that video yet? Because I got the Michael Jordan or the LeBron James of our entire organization. He always talks to individuals who watch the video first, and we're talking about making all 3 of those cash flow streams. But I wanted to make sure that you actually watched it. Okay, perfect. If you watch it, when you get home, I got a time slot for you tonight to actually talk to him. If then, what you're saying is, if you hurry up and watch it, the LeBron James of our organization wants to set up a Q&A session with you. If then. So when you nudge them, use what are called if-then statements. We'll talk about that in more advanced trainings, but always let a person know what's coming next. Very important. Before you even get started, new people, what have you done so far? You got your calendar out and you set at least 4 meetings up because you're going to mess up the first 2 and we're going to nail the last 2. Don't worry about it. You've copied and pasted the text threads and you've watched the text thread video. Now it's time for you to go ahead and host at least 2 of those 4 events from step 1. Now, a lot of you guys don't realize this, but here's what's happening. You have actually expanded the life of a new QFD when you have events on your calendar. I have a training in your back office I'll show you guys called the quitting clock. And the quitting clock is this. If you let a QFD sit too long without training, without support, you haven't checked on them, you haven't talked to them, their quitting clock starts ticking. Now, don't get me wrong. You can't save everybody. I check on people all the time. No response. I call you. You're always busy. You haven't given me your calendar yet. We haven't set up any Zooms. I say, you'll quit pretty soon. I'm not even worried about it. But you can at least rewind a person's quitting clock by having something on the calendar. Here's what I mean. If you sponsor me March 1st and my launch is March 5th, you at least got me for 4 more days. Now we got activity. We got text threads going. We got the 7-minute video circulating. The meetings at my house on the 5th. I just got in on the 1st. You got me for another 4 days. If that doesn't go well, we already scheduled the next one for the 9th. So now you've got me from the 1st to the 9th, and we've already started inviting people, so I can't back out. That's why getting the calendar out is so important and locking in dates and letting people know what the calendar looks like so they can't back out because too many people are expecting them to have the Zoom or the profit party that we already scheduled on step 1. What you just did was you bought some time and you reversed my quitting clock just when my drunk uncle was getting in my ear. And sometimes the drunk uncle is you. Just when the old you popped up and said, man, you can't do this. You need to quit. You know you're busy. You don't know why you signed up in the first place. You know you ain't going to make no passive income. You ain't going to buy no land. You're not going to get out of debt. See, when that person pop up, too late. We already got people coming on March 9th. You can't back out. The calendar rewinds the quitting clock. These 2 things, your calendar and your roadmap, go hand in hand. Before you get started, I need y'all to do me a favor. Click and print your ED2 and ED3 roadmap. Let me say this before I show you these. Put this in your notes. I cannot work this business in my head. Cannot work this business in my head. I know we live in a digital world. I know we have iPads and you got your little stylus and you can write. I get it. I know you got your cell phone. I love it. I got 3 of them. I use it. I like my notepad. I'll tell you to copy and paste your notes to your notepad because we need to press it and send it. But one thing about this business that got me all the way to the top and on my way higher is the roadmap. They say to think is to put it in ink. A magical thing happens. I can't explain it. Every billionaire says it. Who am I to question it? A magical thing happens when you put pen or pencil to paper. You're using more of your sensories. A thought that you had and a pen in your hand and a goal that you wrote down on a sheet of paper that's tracking and monitoring your progress locks you into a business because you now physically see yourself succeeding. You physically see yourself succeeding. So this roadmap, before you get started, ED2 and ED3 is designed for you, Mr. or Mrs. New QFD, to see yourself succeeding. This roadmap has a variety of different reasons or purposes. 1, the first 3 people you sponsor in the middle, QD1, QD2, QD3. What that does, that helps you track your first momentum bonus. You see, you got 1, you got 2, you got 3. Now in your mind, you're going for it. When you help them get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you just earn 450. Put this in your notes. The further you go, the further you can see. The further you go, the further you can see. It's nothing like setting a goal and watching it happen on paper. Nothing like it. Now, Brian, how do I get to 900? Well, simple. You got to print out another sheet, another 3 sheets and help these guys. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See, the 900 comes when you help these guys do the same thing. This is called one giant step forward. See, everybody in your team has to be marching forward with the same sheet. Wait, you got your 3? How many you got? All right, cool. Give me the names of his 3. So now, while I'm working on my 6, I'm helping you with your 9. You see, when I'm working on my 3, I'm helping you with your 27. See, the misconception is that you're filling out this sheet by yourself. You're not. In fact, QFDs, let me just give you a quick heads up. The sheet actually gets easier as your organization gets bigger. Brian, what do you mean? Well, when it's just you and your thoughts, and you have to sponsor 3 people, it can feel tough because the first 5 people didn't return your text, 2 people didn't return your call, 1 person was broke, so you start feeling down on yourself. Well, when I work on my 9, I got 3 other friends and me helping me with my next wave. It actually gets easier if you get out your own way and get those 3 to help them get 3 and help them get 3. So the sheet actually gets better the bigger your organization gets, and so does the compensation plan. Let's be clear. You have to print this off. I know y'all don't like printers no more for whatever reason, but trust me, you're gonna need to own a printing company when you hit the top of this organization and you want to help all these guys get paid. You notice down here it says your profit party dates are. This is your first one. This is your second one. This sheet helps you all the way to your $900 momentum bonus. Let me tell you why these sheets are so important. They also help you answer a lot of questions that you're automatically going to get asked by your organization. Nothing worse than you having a new QFD asking you a bunch of questions that's already on this sheet. Nothing worse. Nothing worse than having a new QFD ask you a bunch of questions that's on this sheet. Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question. Now, if I place somebody under somebody, does that count for my momentum bonus? Well, let's look at the sheet. Let's just find out. This says 1 personal QFD only, 2 personal QFD only, 3 personal QFD only. Okay, so Brian, placement don't count. Let's look at the sheet. Those first 3 have to be personal. Well, Brian, I got my 3, but I didn't get my $5 a day, man. What happened? Okay, let's look at the chart. Let's see what happened. The chart says you need, must maintain 1 outside customer for your daily guarantee. Oh, okay, Mr. Bean, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you see why I keep asking you to print the sheets out? So we won't have to keep having these consultations about your confusion. Well, Brian, how do I get to $600 a month? Okay, well, let's look at it. These guys help you get to 20 a day. So when you help this person, and this person get their 3, you now get promoted to 20 a day. How do I get to 50 a day? Okay, well, let's look at it. When you help these guys, when this leg has 12 people in it, and this leg has 12 people in it, and this leg has 12 people in it, you got 36 people on your team. Would you believe you at $1,500 a month because you at $50 a day? Oh, okay, Mr. Bean. You see why I keep asking you to print the sheets? Now I got it in my head. Okay. Yeah, I know. QFDs, listen to me. Run to FedEx, wherever your job, your office, print out multiple copies of these roadmaps and start thinking big from day one. The sheets not only help you map your goals out, they show you how the compensation plan works. So now after your profit parties and your Zooms, you getting with your upline and y'all are filling the sheets out together. How many came in Florida? Well, we got 3 tonight. Who's that under? Under Steven. Okay, what's their names? Bob, Alice, and Susie. All right, how many we get in LA? We got 1 tonight. Okay, perfect. What's the name? That's Keisha. Okay, how many you got? Oh, you need 1 more and you at 12. Let's go. In fact, I got 1 for you. See, you got to be working together. I got extra people on my sheet. You 1 away from 20 a day. Nothing like calling a new QFD saying, we just got you promoted. But they had to get it going first with their 3 QFDs and their 1 customer. I employ everybody watching this Zoom that's a brand new QFD. Before you even get started, do the following steps to the letter. 1, schedule 4 events, 1 week apart, your first week. 2, copy and paste the text threads to your cell phone so you can have them ready. and practice with your sponsor before you fire them off to prospects so you can see how it works. 3, go ahead and host 2 Zooms, 2 profit parties, or 1 Zoom and 1 profit party. Then do another Zoom and another profit party. Some in person, some online. Catch people in town, catch people out of town. 4, print off your roadmaps and watch what happens as hundreds of people each week have private Zooms and profit parties. Your sheets will fill up like never before, and you'll be a walking embodiment of what 12, 12, 12 looks like. You need 12 points to hit $5 a day. That's 3 people plus yours. 3, 3, 3, 9 plus your 3 is 12, $5 a day. You need 12 people to hit $20 a day. What's that, Brian? Basically 4 people in each leg. 12 people, $600 a month, 20 a day. You need 3 legs with 12 people for you to hit ED3, 36 people on your team. That chart will walk you from ED1 to ED2 to ED3 if you run that 12 by 12 by 12 play for 12 months. Now you got your coded bonus. Those of you who did it fast got your momentum bonus. Those of you who focused every week getting your performance bonus, and you got people duplicating that same process. Those are the basic steps before you even get started in the business. Now go ahead and graduate and watch the next video in this module, and we'll see you guys at ED3.